Hey everyone, it's Anthony here from Board Game Dads. Excited to bring you a brand new segment that we're calling the Holiday Spotlight. Basically, we're going to be talking about some major holidays, some minor holidays throughout the year, and how these pair up with some board game selections. Got this idea from my best friend, Eric Daly. He's my childhood friend since kindergarten. We're going to go ahead and bring him in right now. Hello, sir. How are you doing today?
I am doing just fine. How are you this evening?
I am excellent. I'm very excited to talk about board games. You were the inspiration for this segment idea because I know how much you love random holidays and Christmas, obviously, especially. And you love, doing your little themes when the holidays come up, whether it's music or decorations or clothes. And now that we're into this hobby, board games as well.
That is true. I love my holidays. There's no other way to put it, really. I love to celebrate them, and luckily, my wife does as well. So, yeah, it's a family thing now, and we're just going to keep making traditions.
Yeah, absolutely. You're right. I was thinking about this the other day when I guess we've been in this hobby now for a good few years, maybe like 7, 8.
Yeah, I was trying to actually figure that out the other day for a Favorite Game Friday episode, and I mean, we probably first started playing board games, not just like Scrabble and Cribbage and some of the games that we used to play when we were younger. But I would say we probably picked up Pandemic, which was our first game, 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's about the time frame.
And so it snowballed from there. And what I was thinking about the other day was that during this time of exploring this new hobby and whatnot, and starting to listen to podcasts and watch people on YouTube and things like that, people always talked about their gaming groups, and it seemed like that people had a pretty steady weekly or at least monthly game group where everybody got together and brought a bunch of games.
Like 90% of the board games that I play are with my wife. They're 2-player games with her.
Well, I'm glad you said that because that's kind of what I was getting at, is that now, especially in the time that we're in, our wives are our board game group, right? So we not only meet weekly, we meet daily because we live with them. And so the inspiration, again, the holiday list, we talked about how to start this. I looked at a bunch of random holidays in January, and we thought, because we spend so much time with our wives, because we're so blessed to have amazing wives who are into the same hobby that we are and put up with all of our madness. And so we figured, what better holiday to address or spotlight first than National Spouses Day, which happens to be on January 26th. Eric and I both decided to bring a couple of different categories to the table on this discussion. And we're going to go ahead and start with the first one, which is 2-player only games. Again, makes sense. We're really spending most of our gaming time with our significant others. And there are a lot of great games that are made specifically for 2 players. Favorite game that Lauren and I play 2-player has to be Patchwork. And I'm not sure if that's because it's a pretty recent addition to our collection or not. I know Patchwork's kind of an older game. We were definitely late to the party. The first time we played it was at a board game cafe, maybe like 3 years ago or so. We did really like it. And then so last year I ended up picking up the Americana version. Again, a little bit of influence from you. Thought, hey, this is a cool game to play in the summertime, 4th of July, Americana kind of edition. Same gameplay rules, just different looking tiles. And then recently, Lauren did gift me with the Christmas edition,
Nice.
Which also got to the table a lot. So that's definitely a game that we can just get out at any time. It's fun. We're pretty
over too soon.
Matched. It is over too soon, and yeah. you do get punished for the empty spaces, which is a little brutal.
I agree. It's a fantastic game. We love that. It was definitely in contention for our game. But yeah, that game, sometimes you're playing it and like you feel like things are really starting to get rolling, and then it's over.
Yeah.
You get one more piece, and then boop, you're right there at the end, and you're like, "Yep, that was it. All right, count them up."
Count them up for sure. At least it's negative points for both players. So there's
right.
that. So what about you guys? What's your favorite 2-player only game?
So we play, like I said before, most of the games that we play are 2-player games with just the 2 of us. However, that being said, we don't own a lot of 2-player only games. We just find them to be a little bit too head to head and combative, or sometimes they're more like abstract, where like you move here, so that means I got to go here, and that's not really our thing. However, there were a few, and the game that we like the most as a 2-player game is Lost Cities. Yeah, it's one of our older games. The cards have like black borders, so they're really beat up like after just a couple of plays, so it looks like it's even an older game. But yeah, that's a really quick one. We play that. We could play like 4 or 5 games in one sitting, and yeah, it's a good one.
I really like Lost Cities too, and it's another one that does kind of punish you a little bit. You can definitely get some negative points in that game as well.
Yeah.
In fact, you kind of almost, as soon as you play a card or dedicate to one of those sections, you're already like minus 20 points, right? You kind of like start out in a hole, I think.
Right.
Yeah. I like that game a lot. I've played that with Lauren a bunch. I actually taught that to our buddy Tooth, and he likes it too. It's very stressful though.
Yeah, it's a pretty stressful game. And we own the Lost Cities Rivals, which is basically the same thing. It changes a couple things and adds like a little bit of a bidding to it. And I think, I'm not sure because we haven't played it in a while. We played it only a couple times. I think it invites like 3 or 4 players, not just 2.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Have you ever played the Lost Cities, the board game?
I have not.
Yeah, me neither. I'm not sure if that's a higher player count than 2. It probably is. All right. Well, what category would you like to start with?
So my first category is going to be board game gifts that you gave to your spouse that for one reason or another, she really loved the gift, or she just really loved the game, or really wanted the game, or whatever, you know, like her kind of favorite gift from you. Doesn't matter what holiday.
Okay.
So mine gift that I bought for her would have to be Everdell. We picked this up in like the last 15 minutes that we were at PAX Unplugged, the first year that we went. And we were talking about it, but the only copy we could find was $80. It was the deluxe version. And we were like, oh, we're not going to get that. And then at some point, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get this for you for Christmas. So I just like went over and I got it. And I was like, you can't have it, you know, like forget about it completely. And we love the game. And, you know, it's got those cute animals. And it's just, it's in both of our top 10s.
Yeah, so, for sure. I remember you saying that. And you guys, you have the both expansions, right?
Or we have all 3 expansions.
3.
The first one, Pearlbrook, take it or leave it.
Okay.
I prefer leave it. And then there's 2 more that we're still kind of we're playing. One of them, Spirecrest, I think. Love it. And then the other one's Belfair, and it's okay. We'll have to use it a little more and more frequently to see how we actually like it, but love the game.
So now when you play that game, do you play always with that particular expansion? You leave the first one out? Do you have like a set thing you like to do?
The last few times that we've played the game, we 100% had to play with Spirecrest.
Okay.
I don't believe we're ever going to play the base game again without Spirecrest. Like it adds enough that it's worth bringing in, but it's also it doesn't change that much. So it's not like, what are these rules again? Oh, I got to look through a different rule book, and yeah, I can't stand that sometimes. But no, this one it's definitely coming with all plays.
I only played that game once with you guys, and I liked it a lot. Similar to what you said about Patchwork, I kind of wanted it to be a little bit longer. Like I felt like I just got a little putter of an engine going. But again, that's probably just from only playing the game one time.
No, that's how the game is. Every time we play this game, like the first like 2 rounds, you're like, how am I going to get anything done? I have 2 workers. I have no resources. This is impossible. And by the 5th, by the 5th, by the 3rd or 4th season or whatever you're going through, you're just like, all right, I have this guy, and then I get all this stuff for free. I'm going to send this guy over here. I got all these other people. I get all this for free. And you have this thing. You do one action, and you have this engine where you get this for free. You get one of these, and you get one of these, and you get to do that. And yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Awesome. Yeah, I can't wait to try that one again. The expansion sounds cool too. Favorite game, I think, of Lauren's that I gifted to her is probably the most recent one, which was a Christmas gift, the Harry Potter House Cup competition game. I think she likes that especially because she didn't ask for it. So it was totally a surprise. And the fact that it was a Harry Potter game was like kind of like an extra wow thing for her because she didn't really think I would ever like buy her one of those or want to play. I mean, I don't know.
So you're not really big into Harry Potter, though.
I am. I like it. I'm nowhere near as into it as she is or Melissa is.
Right.
I haven't read the books. I've only seen the movies, but you know, I like the game. It was pretty cool worker placement Harry Potter stuff. So it was something that was satisfying to me as just a board game fan because it was a worker placement game, which is cool. And then you add on the theme of the Harry Potter stuff, and it's just fun for both of us. So looking forward to getting that one to the table again. So as much as we do love playing games with our wives, there are some games that my wife likes that I don't particularly like to play. So I may be a little hesitant to play them at times. I don't hate them. They wouldn't be in our collection if I'd hated them. That's a very strong word. But this game in particular I'm thinking of, I think I have a valid reason to not like it, but I'll let you judge me. So this game is called.
And I shall. Because that's what
you mean you haven't been with this whole time? That game is called Pass the Pandas. Pass the Pandas is a very light dice rolling game where you're just rolling a bunch of dice, trying to get rid of all your dice. First one to get rid of their dice wins. You can get dice from people when they get pandas, they pass them to people, and if you get some bamboo that doesn't match the bamboo the other person gets, you get more, and blah blah blah. It's an okay game. It's a fun game to play, but as a two-player game, it is absolutely horrendous because there is zero thought process, right? You're not passing anything to anyone besides the person you're playing with. So I feel like at that point, it could be anything that you're playing with besides these particular panda icon dice. It doesn't get to the table that often recently because of the whole pandemic thing. So today, actually, we were super excited. Our nephew Brandon came over and we got 3 games to the table. And so I had to give it to her on this one and get that one out because it's super quick and I know she loves it. And we got to pick 2 different people to pass stuff to instead of just one.
So did you know that you hated this game before playing it today? Or did you play it today and you're like, oh man, this is a game that she likes that I hate?
No, it wasn't
Again,
today that changed it.
Not hate. Hate is such a harsh word.
I dislike it as a 2-player experience. That's I don't think I think the player count should say 3+. I don't think it should say 2.
Yes, I've never played the game, so I can't pass judgment on you, unfortunately. Okay. I would love to.
There'll be more opportunities for you. So.
Absolutely.
But in the same vein, is there something over there that Melissa likes a lot that you tend to not?
So there are. Actually, I have 2.
Okay.
And they're both games that I really want to like, which is another topic that we'll get into one day. But I really, really want to like Isle of Cats. I saw it. I backed it. It's got polyomino pieces and some cards and we love that. And I got it and we played it the first time and I won. And I sort of liked it, but I felt like something about it just seemed like I felt like I had an advantage. And then the next time we played, I didn't win. And I felt like she had an advantage. And it seems like there could be big swings of luck early on in the game that really kind of like changed the outcome and yeah. But we're gonna try it again. We're gonna try it on I think the kids' way, like the family way, without some of the extra cards.
Oh, okay. Have you only played with the 2 of you?
Unless you played it with us.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I do like the game a lot, though.
And then the other game, and I know you're gonna hate this, is Wingspan. Now, we got Wingspan. We were excited. We first played it with you guys, It took a long time to learn, but we expected that.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then we eventually got it because I mean the artwork is fantastic. Like I love nature, and this is just it's almost like studying while playing a board game.
Yes,
right?
that's true.
And that's awesome. Like you're learning stuff, and at the same, you're playing. So that I really love that, and I really want to like this game, but for some reason, I just haven't had a good experience yet with it. Now, I bought her the expansion for maybe her birthday for the European expansion, and then for Christmas, I got her the Oceania expansion. So like I'm not saying we're not playing this game. Like we're going to play this game. I'm just going to either suffer through it or learn to like it. But as of yet, I have not yet enjoyed a play of this game much. I haven't hated it. And it might just be me. I might just maybe I haven't figured out a strategy, and maybe that's just kind of like eating away at me. But
have you not won this game ever? Is that
I don't think so.
Part of it?
I don't know if that's part of it because it could be. But like there are other games that I'd never won, but I still really liked.
Sure.
This just isn't one of them.
Gotcha.
But definitely like if I play a game 10 times and I lose 10 times, I'm not gonna like the game.
Oh, yeah.
Or I already don't like the game, and at this point, it's just fueling my rage.
Yeah, I think 10's a lot. I might cut out at 6 or 7, to be honest. So it saddens me to hear that that's
I know
you don't like. But I didn't know Melissa really liked the game that much, so I'm happy to hear that. I got to say, when I heard you got the expansion, the second expansion, I was a little surprised, and I was kind of like, I didn't think Eric really liked this game. Why would he get another expansion? But if Melissa likes it a lot, then that's a good reason to have it.
It's in her top 10.
Awesome.
So my next category games are board game gifts that she bought for me that I either really liked for one reason, maybe it was hard to find, or it was just, I didn't know this was coming, whatever the reasoning may be. In my case, the game is Diamant, and it was really hard to find. I did not think I was getting this for my birthday. And I think she must have gotten it from like Canada or Europe or something, paid through the nose for shipping. But I love this game. It's fantastic. Even it's the only game that we play that's like not good for 2 players, and we play a 2-player anyway. We roll a die. Each one of us plays as 2 players, right? And at some point, it's a push your luck game for anybody that's never played the game. And I'll make a rational decision for the person, be like, oh, they might want to leave on this one, so they'll leave on a 4, 5, or 6, and then I'll roll the die. And yeah, it's really silly, but we love the game that much that we'll do it.
Well, now let's be clear though. You're not really using an imaginary person for these other players. Tell the whole story.
Okay, so we have a pink and black die, and it's pretty, and so that's our dog, our little Wren. So she's the pink and black die, and then we have a black and white die, just a plain die, and that is for our cat, who's black and white.
There you go.
Now that we have a daughter, however, we might be kicking the cat out.
Cat's got to go.
Cat's got to go.
Why not just do a 5-player game at that point?
But don't be ridiculous. We're gonna kick the cat out,
Well, I don't know what I was thinking.
But yeah, so that is my answer.
I'm glad that Melissa got that game for you as well, because I really enjoy that game, and we've played that together quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
We've even managed to play that remotely over Zoom without us having the game. I mean, it's just that simple that it can be played that way. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. And I know you love push your luck games, and I do as well. I just don't do good at them.
Oh, I'm so bad at them. I'm so bad. I just get inside my own head, and for that game in particular.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Some of the decisions are like, well, I mean, there's like 30 cards left, right? What are the odds it's going to be the one card out of all of these? And even if it's a small number, I just want one more. And it's a trap. It's a trap.
Yep, it's a trap very often.
Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Wingspan already, and so that sort of leads into my answer for this category, because the gift or game-ish gift, I'm kind of cheating here, it's not a game, that I like the best, favorite that I've gotten from Lauren is the upgraded bits and storage stuff for Wingspan. This is something that I would never buy myself. I'm very frugal when it comes to games. I know it's an expensive hobby, but I try not to splurge too much. I definitely don't buy upgrades to games that I have already. Just not something I do on my own. So she got me the upgraded food tokens from an Etsy shop and upgraded storage components, the little component boxes with the sliding tops and things like that from, I believe, a company called ShipShape. And they're really awesome. A new dice tower came with that set as well, because the Wingspan dice tower that you get looks cool, but it's really not very functional. It doesn't stay on that well. This one is all snapped together with the little wooden notches and stuff. It's really cool. So I love taking that game out of the box, just opening the box, and all these nice little compartments are there, these wood etched icons and things like that. Man, does it make the box heavy though. It's like it's easily become the heaviest game in our collection in terms of actual weight, but it is my favorite game. So love the fact that she, went out of her way to come up with something different, but in the vein of something that she knows I like. So really love that one from her. It's probably my favorite gift.
Nice.
So we have to look at the other side of the coin on the category that I talked about last time, which is games that we tend to like that our wives do not like. There's one game in particular that Lauren really dislikes because it is a bluffing game. It's called Sheriff of Nottingham. We do not even own the game, but Eric does, which is great because we got to play it. Would never get to the table if we owned it. Luckily, you have it.
Yeah, we own that game. I love it. I think it's great. I don't get to play a lot of games with more than just me and Melissa, especially now. But yeah, I love playing that game. You got to have at least 4 or 5 players to play that game, and you just lie through your teeth, and then you don't lie, and you hope that people think you're lying, and then you start accusing people of lying, and it's like it's everything about a game that Melissa hates. And this is our answer for this one as well.
Okay.
I was going to go with HeroClix because I've played a lot of HeroClix, and she tries to play it because she knows I like it.
Sure.
But that's you got to put a lot of time into that, and we just don't have that time, to put into learning how to play the game. But yeah, Sheriff of Nottingham, I really like it because I think it's fun lying and and trying to catch people and seeing what I can get away with and stealing stuff. And taking bribes from people, that's fun.
That's right. Yeah, you can bribe as well to either open or not open the pack. Yeah, but, Lauren just feels like she's on the spot. She gets real red, and it makes her uncomfortable. And I could tell that she just wants the thing to be over.
I'll tell you what, I did not know how much Lauren did not like this game, and I can guarantee you that Melissa is going to love to hear that she's not the only one that hates this game and feels uncomfortable, accusing people and lying to people and bribing people and taking bribes.
Mm-hmm.
It's not her thing. She doesn't want to do that.
Yep. I get it. It's definitely not for everyone.
So for our last category of games, this is actually one of our favorite types of games to play, cooperative games. We love cooperative games. Nobody's going to get their feelings hurt. If somebody's got a big lead early in the game, the other person's not going to be like, which I do. I'm not trying to throw my wife under the bus, but
witness.
I'll do that if I feel like I have no chance to win really early in the game. I don't want to stop playing because my wife will, she'll say oh, do you want to stop playing? No, I just want to stop being a baby about it. It's not that easy. But yeah, so in cooperative games, it doesn't happen unless it's ridiculously hard game, which we're not really big fans of ridiculously hard cooperative games.
Sure.
So I actually chose 2 games for this one.
Okay.
One of them is a really, really in-depth, long kind of game. For us, especially, we don't generally play games longer than an hour and a half or so. Typically, it's anywhere between 30 minutes and an hour and a half. But we love Spirit Island. It's cooperative. You've played this with us.
Yes.
It's so much different than any other game, and each character you play, they sort of kind of have you play in a certain way, be like, oh well, this character likes to focus on this kind of stuff, so it's cool. It's not like each time you play, be like, I want to get the most energy and get the highest cards.
Right,
You
right.
can't do that with everybody, and that's just really cool. And a lot of the cooperative elements of the game are just, they're unique, they're fun, but again, it takes a long time,
Yeah.
but we like it so much that it doesn't matter.
It doesn't feel like a drag, that game.
No,
I'm not like counting down and be like, oh my God, is this over yet? And to your point about the, the characters, you're cooperating before the game even starts when you're picking
right,
the characters, right? Because you're looking at the strengths and weaknesses which they have on the cards. They do a really good job of showing the player attributes and things like that, and so you kind of know how to. You have a strategy going in before the game
right.
even starts, which is cool. Yeah, that's a great game. You have expansion for that as well, right?
We have both expansions for that, and we have an upgrade.
Oh, what's the upgrade?
We got these little totems from Etsy,
Hmm.
and it replaced the little wooden discs for your presence tokens,
Oh,
and
okay.
so they're like little 3D printed like totem faces, and yeah, they look great.
They have them. They're different for every character.
We got 6 different colors,
Oh, okay, cool.
and each one's different. So yeah, so our other cooperative game that we love to play, and this is, especially if somebody's looking for a game to get for their spouse or significant other, whatever, for Spouses Day, we love playing exit games, Exit the Game, and Dexcape. Now we've played Unlock, and I got to tell you, I got an Unlock sitting over there that I got
Hmm.
for Christmas. It's the 3-pack, the Star Wars 3-pack Unlock. Can't wait to play it. But other than that one, generally speaking, we like Exit the Game, Dexcape. Dexcape's probably our favorite, and then I think Adventure Games is kind of new, similar to Exit the Game, and that one's real good too. But
Yeah,
yeah,
they're
that's a cooperative escape room in a box.
yeah, that's a great suggestion for any couples for a date night. Those games are a lot of fun, and there's
Yeah.
so many of them. Even besides the ones you mentioned, there's
Oh
countless
yeah.
other brands of it now too, and they're just coming out with new content all the time. They're a lot of fun for sure. Well, if we are playing a cooperative game, we like to have a fighting chance, like you said. It's okay if we lose every once in a while, but I like when there's some replayability in the game, and that's why we chose Horrified, which is a cooperative game about battling the universal monsters. So in this game, you'll be in different scenarios depending on which monster you're playing with. You can be, fighting against the Wolfman or Frankenstein and the Bride, Dracula, all that. And the board is set up in a big town type thing where you go in these different locations, but each monster you play against has a different, uh, you know, defeat condition, and you're not just like killing them. I think some of them, one of them, you're killing, right? Dracula, I think you're trying to kill him,
Yeah, you're killing Dracula.
but Frankenstein and the Bride, you're trying to get them to just kind of fall in love, and you're trying to cure
Wolfman
Wolfman, I think. And so there's all these different things,
and
but
Invisible Man.
Invisible Man, right? But it uses the same core mechanics and resources, really, no matter who the monsters are in the game. So just by playing different monsters, you're getting replayability, but it's not changing the game. You don't have to really learn anything new. You're just sort of using things in the game in a different way. Um, Great game to pull out for Halloween. Doesn't have to be Halloween though. Like I said, there's so many characters that you can just play, 2, 3 nights in a row or across a couple weeks and play totally different games with everyone. I know you have a particularly cool upgrade for this game as well.
We do. We have the Funko Mystery Minis, and we bought X amount, which wasn't too many. We out of all the ones we bought, I think we ended up with only 4 doubles. So we got every single character we needed for that base game
Nice.
with only buying 4 extra ones. And once we opened that last one, we're like, we're not going to buy any more. Like, we can't just keep spending money just to get the Invisible Man. And then boom, we got the Invisible Man. Yeah, it was exciting. And so now we have this awesome upgrade for Horrified.
Yeah, this game looks really cool on the table. It almost reminds me, I was saying this to Lauren the last time we played. It reminds me of a game that I would have had when I was a kid, if that makes sense. The whole, like, the board, the way the board looks, and just collecting the different colors. It's just like like red does this in this version,
Right.
yellow does this in this version, but they're always there. I don't know, man. I think this is a great couples game, but I think this is a great family game. I can't wait till our kids are old enough to play this game, especially around Halloween.
Yeah, yeah. This is one of our favorite ones, and it looks great. I really hope they don't come out with an expansion because I probably am not going to be able to get the upgrades for that. So, so I know that's super selfish, but I would prefer they just kind of like took the basic gameplay mechanism and maybe made a new game which is ripe for expansions. Great. Don't touch Horrified. Leave it as is. I love it.
What if they did, instead of new characters, what if there were just different scenarios for the existing characters already?
That would be a fantastic idea.
Okay.
I just don't want them to introduce any new characters like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or Phantom of the Opera, something, that kind of thing. Because
no one else can have fun besides you is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty selfish of me to say.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap things up here. Once again, this is the first episode, I should say, in this segment where we're going to be doing some holiday spotlights. In the comments below, if you folks can leave any information about what games you like to play with your spouse, with your significant other, or just with two players, doesn't have to be that category, let us know. There's a whole bunch out there. And we'll be back with another category at some point in the future. Eric, thanks so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
And before we leave, where can people find you on the social medias?
I am on Instagram at the Meeples Republic.
Awesome. And I am at Board Game Dads. Thanks for watching, folks, and we'll see you next time. Bye.